Friday? Yeah, it's Friday. At least that's when this article by Michael Amato was posted on Sportsnet.ca. We're covering this after the weekend because what I wanted to do was dive into his hypothesis as to which superstar is most likely to be on a new team next season. Now, I'll give Amato props for going out there and putting this article together, but this Friday 4-piece is really deep and really intricate with conversations on Sidney Crosby of the Pittsburgh Penguins, Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers, Kirill Kaprizov of the Minnesota Wild, and Quinn Hughes of the Vancouver Canucks. There's a really big write-up on every one of these guys, which is a little bit much if you're trying to digest all of the content of the article in one small 9-minute YouTube video, which is why the article will be linked in the description if you want to get the full scoop as to what Amato writes on Crosby, McDavid, Kaprizov, and Quinn Hughes. You can choose to do that. It's all available here, but I'm also going to leave a link in the description to Spectre's Hockey from yesterday, September 28th. Because what Lyle Richardson does on this piece is he summarizes what it is that Michael Amato wrote about on Sportsnet. So links to both articles will be in the description for your reading pleasure. Amato recently looked at which 4 NHL superstars are most likely to be on a new team next season. Amato noted the trade rumors swirling around Edmonton Oilers captain Connor McDavid, Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby, Minnesota Wild winger Kirill Kaprizov, and Vancouver Canucks captain Quinn Hughes. The rumors about McDavid and Kaprizov are mostly based on their eligibility for UFA status next July and the lack of progress in contract extension negotiations with their respective teams. Crosby is in the first year of a 2-year contract with the rebuilding Penguins. Speculation suggests that he could grow wary of another lost season and request a trade to a contender. Quinn Hughes entered the rumor mill after Jim Rutherford, the Canucks president of hockey operations, said in May that the 25-year-old defenseman would one day like to play with his brothers Jack and Luke, who both play for the New Jersey Devils. Of the 4, Amato considers Hughes the most likely to be playing elsewhere next season. McDavid isn't likely to find a better opportunity to win the Stanley Cup elsewhere. Kaprizov is the Wild's franchise player, and they don't want to lose him. Crosby remains determined to stay in Pittsburgh. The Canucks will want to know next summer if Hughes intends to sign a contract extension. Last season was a nightmare for the club, and they faced an uphill climb to create an environment and situation that will make him want to stay. Now, on Quinn Hughes, if you want to get some of the Vancouver perspective in regards to Quinn and his situation, you can head over onto our YouTube channel. We just uploaded a video 8 minutes ago talking about some Jim Rutherford comments. He spoke out in the 100% Hockey podcast about Quinn Hughes and the idea of him coming back. Rutherford isn't really placing too much worry on it. He says, hey, it's really nobody's decision as of right now because the guy can't sign a contract extension. However, the Vancouver Canucks are poised to having a good year this upcoming season. They want to do that, and they want to give Quinn Hughes a reason to stay. So that seems to be where Vancouver's mindset is at the moment. However, for Canucks fans, I mean, none of this really screams optimistic for Sportsnet writers to go out there and start saying that, yeah, out of these guys, Hughes, Crosby, Kaprizov, and McDavid, the most likely to be playing on another team next season is Quinn Hughes. Even though the guy has 2 years left in his contract, the article concludes that Quinn could be out next season. And that would mostly be due to the idea of Quinn not wanting to sign an extension with Vancouver. If he's honest with the management and he says, yeah, sorry, I'm just not really feeling it here, I want to go over to Jersey, then Vancouver will find a way to get this guy out of there and onto another team so they can get more value for him, which would be a total shame, by the way. Like, nobody in Vancouver wants Quinn Hughes to leave. Nobody wants to trade this guy. But if the conclusion is, hey, he just doesn't want to be here, the Canucks may have no choice. I mean, just look at the reign of terror Quinn Hughes has proposed against the NHL the past few years. He has enforced it at his own hand. 92 points in 82 games played in his Norris winning year. And the funny part is, You could very honestly say that he played better the season after. It's just that he got hurt and the Vancouver Canucks were crap around him, so he wasn't really able to get that support. Let's scroll down and read more about Spector's note, because he did offer his opinion here. Lyle Richardson, that is the writer of Spector's Hockey, responding to Amato's concerns. A lot can happen for all four of these guys that could convince them to move on. Nevertheless, Quinn Hughes' situation makes him the most likely of the group to be playing elsewhere next year. It will take a significant bounce-back performance by the Canucks this season to convince him that this team can be a serious contender. And again, that's exactly what Jim Rutherford was going out there and talking about with their own goals and their own mindset. I would honestly disagree with the way the article and even Spector's Hockey concludes it. I do think that just based off of the tea leaves, I might even say that Kirill Kaprizov is the most likely to be playing elsewhere. I mean, the conclusion here is that, okay, McDavid, he can't find a better opportunity to win the cup. Crosby remains determined to stay with Pittsburgh. Those are both valid, but Kaprizov is the Wild's franchise player and they don't want to lose him. What do you mean? Like, of course you don't want to lose him, but he just rejected a $16 million AAV contract. That guy's out of there. What are the Minnesota Wild going to do to keep Kirill Kaprizov after he rejected the highest AAV and total dollar amount contract the NHL would have ever seen in its entire history? How can you go out there and conclude that Minnesota is going to do everything they can to keep this guy when they've already tried giving him the biggest deal ever, and he said no? They would really need to settle down and try to figure out what it is Kaprizov wants and which team is it that he wants it from. Does this guy take $16 or $15 million AAV elsewhere? Does he just reject it in Minnesota? It does seem like the Wild might have themselves an issue here, unless Kaprizov is like, yeah, I'm staying in Minnesota. I'm okay to do that, but you got to give me 19. You got to give me much more than $16 million a year. I just don't know if the Wild would be interested in entertaining that. As for Edmonton, they would definitely be interested in giving McDavid whatever it is that he wants. It's all going to be his choice. And in Pittsburgh, it's ultimately going to be Crosby's choice. If Crosby stays or goes, it's going to be all up to him. Kyle Dubas is not going to force Crosby to do anything that the guy doesn't want to do himself. I honestly feel like Kaprizov is the more likely candidate to be on a different team this upcoming year. I mean, his contract expires at the end of this season anyway. So there already is a direct avenue to free agent status that Quinn Hughes does not have just yet, so I kind of wonder where this is going to go, but ultimately that's the conclusion that the folks writing these articles go out there and make. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Out of these four guys, McDavid, Crosby, Kaprizov, and Quinn Hughes, who do you think is the most likely of the four to be playing on a different team next year? Both the articles go out there and say it's going to be Quinn Hughes, most likely to leave and be a part of a different organization. It's all going to depend on Vancouver being good. What I gather from that is that maybe the writers of this piece don't really feel like Vancouver is going to be all too great, which is fair. I think the Canucks are not owed respect in this league after what happened last year, but still, I'm a little more optimistic. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, whether you agree or disagree. If you enjoyed this video at any point, feel free to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy, then hey, please click that dislike button. Comments help out with the algorithm, so they are very greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments, how do you feel about McDavid, Crosby, Kaprizov, and Hughes? I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.